Yo, what's going on, my guys? You guys already know who it is. It's Ralphie here hosting the One Thrones podcast. Today, we're going to be diving in some cheating, some scandals. I don't know what I'm getting myself into yet, but let's get into this shit together. You down? Let's get it. But before we get into that content, you guys already know I'm going to have to beg you guys to like, subscribe, share this content. You guys know I'm a new channel and I'm starving. So please go ahead, like, subscribe, do everything you got to do to help this channel grow and expand. Appreciate you. I love it. Let's get into it.
Infidelity, men using.
I like her. She looks Middle Eastern, and I love Middle Eastern women. But they don't love me, dog.
Women cheat more than men?
Far more.
Oh, shit. She now has my curiosity. First, she had my heart. Now she has my curiosity. Oh, shit.
Come on.
Far more.
Come on.
Far from.
Why do you think women cheat more than men?
Because they're in denial about the infidelity. When they cheat, they don't even label it as that.
Oh, yes. This is shit is your fault. You did this. You did that. It's you.
If a woman starts cheating,
What are they labeled as?
They label it as my husband's no longer satisfying me. They won't even say I'm cheating.
So how do we know women are cheating?
Find a way to redirect and shift the terminology so that they are void of guilt.
Really?
Absolutely.
So how do we know women are cheating more than men? What is it like? Is this public knowledge? Is there surveys?
Hey, I'm a survey gatherer. I'm a survey gatherer myself. I've done taken down so many women relationships, but it's not my intention. I don't be going out and be like, yo, you got a man, you want to cheat? Nah, it's just, most women that I find out have a man, usually I find out have a man afterwards. They tell me, oh, I got him. Not me, but I know how it must feel for the other dude.
So you're just hearing this from the people you're coaching?
The people I'm coaching, because firstly,
coach.
you'll know, it's simple signs that you'll know. Firstly, when the guy, I always say infidelity is a result of men not being masculine and women not being feminine. And what I mean by this is if a woman is cheating,
men out here cry that my woman, did you cry in front of her? Sharing too much emotion, sharing too much. You're not rare. Gotta be rare.
It's because she has a man that accepts unacceptable because he is unwilling to walk away when his boundaries are broken.
And this is why in my other episodes I said you guys have to establish boundaries early. You guys know I have 3 stages in the dating phase. Go look at my videos. The first stage is the trying out phase. It's not the talking phase. It's where you try out. This is where you try out, guys. All right, that is my tryout phase. And this is where you got to set your boundaries as a man. I do not accept this. I do not like this. This is not what we're doing. And after she accepts your boundaries, it's up to her after the trying out phase to accept your boundaries or to move forward.
What will happen is when women meet that man with a good woman with good morals, and she doesn't want that man. She's like, I don't want to weaken.
She'll leave.
She'll leave. She'll replace him with somebody who has boundaries that suit her morals. But a woman,
she won't cheat because she'll have the values of like, this isn't working. It's sad.
No, I don't want
but
somebody.
But I'm not going to cheat
week.
While I'm with you.
No desire to cheat.
Yeah.
She's not a sexual being. So she's looking for somebody who can lead a household. But the woman who's planning to come home late all the time and planning to go on a bunch of holidays and planning to keep in touch with her ex.
If she keeps in touch with her ex, that's already cheating. Everybody knows that's cheating already. And like I told you guys, if you're in the trying out phase and you find this girl's Instagram and she's posting those provocative pictures like she's saying, that's a red flag. You need to walk away. Most likely she's not going to be down with taking it. And I mean provocative, showing her ass on purpose. Doing splits, talking about him in the gym, showing her squatting at the gym. If she's not getting paid for this, she's not a personal trainer with clients, no point in her doing this, man.
He's perfect. He's perfect, because he'll maybe pay for everything. He'll maybe sort the house out, maybe give her the kids. He's perfect. So that agreeable.
And she can keep getting the validation from all these other men. And
whoever she wants. And he'll say, oh, babe, I don't really like that bikini picture. And she'll say, stop oppressing me. And that will be the end of the conversation.
Hit it on the bug, bro. She's so right.
And he'll say, oh, babe, I don't really like that bikini picture. And she'll say, stop oppressing me. And that will be the end of the conversation.
And I don't blame her. If you have a girl that does this, I don't blame her. I blame the man because you have not set your boundaries. If at the beginning, if she's into you and you guys move forward with this, it should be, yo, I don't like those pictures. So what are we going to do about it? And if she does not want to do anything about it, sorry. You got to cut her off. And at this point of the relationship, I'm not mad at her because as the woman stated, there was no boundary set at the beginning. It's up to you as a man, a masculine man, a high-valued man to set your boundaries early, bro. Gotta set them boundaries.
and that she'll carry on doing what she wants. And he'll say, oh, you're going to come home today? I'll come home when I want. And that's what he'll say, okay.
Oh my God.
And because she recognizes he doesn't have the willingness to walk away, when the man isn't masculine, his days are numbered.
Listen, you guys think that this is an Andrew Tate thing, that this is evil being a masculine man. There is no toxic masculinity. It's either you're a toxic person or you're not. Being a masculine man is knowing your boundaries, knowing your value. If you don't want your girlfriend that you chose to be your girlfriend dressing provocatively, we've known that women and a woman's past can tear down empires. A woman's past can tarnish a man's reputation. It can literally stop a man from getting a job, from succeeding in life if he messes with the wrong woman. Again, look at these countless times. Look at Logan Paul and other examples on the internet. Please, guys, you have to be in your masculinity. And if you do not know what it is to be a masculine man, this is why YouTube is for. Go ahead and get that.
His days, I love she says how his days are numbered. Filter themselves off away from men that are too agreeable. Now, when women get cheated on, again, it's a lack of femininity. And what I mean by that is, honestly, what I've noticed with married men that cheat, it's not that they love somebody else so much or they found someone more beautiful. They simply have a wife that is no longer catering to their needs.
That's facts. That is facts. That is facts. But I'm not going to lie. Yo, a woman can be doing everything for me as a man. Can be doing anything for me as a man, but ain't nothing better. There's no better pussy than new pussy. So I understand that for you girls watching as well. You could be doing everything. I know a lot of you complain. Yeah, you could do everything, but a man is a man. A man's biology is multiple women. Doesn't make us a bad person. Doesn't mean we're bad men. Doesn't mean we're gonna raise bad men. It's just in our biology. If we are high valued enough men, if we are attractive or charismatic enough that we happen to manage that multiple women want us, that is a rarity. That is an anomaly, and it should be respected. I don't condone cheating, but I respect it.
What type of needs? Their sexual needs, their intimacy needs, their supportive needs?
All kinds of needs. So what I mean by that, it could be as simple as there's a coffee ready because you're going to work. Or it could be as deep as, I haven't slept with you in 6 months. It's his needs no longer matter, and it's really difficult. I understand when you have kids and stuff like that, it becomes difficult.
Is it when
No, it doesn't. You make time, bro.
Feels his needs don't matter, or he's communicating what he wants, and she's not willing to provide that?
He's saying it.
He's saying it, and she's just like, I don't have time for this, or she's busy, or whatever.
He's often saying it, but she's also not predicting his needs, and that's part of femininity.
Oh my Lord. Yo, who is this queen? Who are you, boo? Let me sing to you. I love you. Predicting what a man likes is so key. Again, she should have known this in the trying out phase. I'll speak about this in the trying out phase, in the serious trying out phase, how a woman must predict a man's needs, a man's wants. If you know that a man, in the talking stage, he always talked about how he loves a woman to cook. Learn how to cook. A woman that does not want to learn how to cook for her man is a red flag. If he's paying all the bills, if she doesn't have his slippers, let's say a bath, if he knows he likes warm water, have the warm water ready for him. Have that food ready. Have the dogs fed. Have the kids already ready for bed. You gotta predict these men's needs. A good woman makes a man's life easier, not harder.
Femininity is, I know he's coming home, let me just warm up a bit of food. Or I know that he's got work at an early start. Let me just iron that shirt quickly because he's going to make a mess if he does it.
There's not enough of those. These days, a woman that's oppressive.
Movements say to that. I'm just curious.
They would argue that he's not a baby. That's what they would say. Men are not babies. But here's the reality. They are. In a lot of ways, they are.
Whoa, yo, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
In a lot of ways,
grown ass man.
They really
I can be a baby sometimes, but
you know what it is? It's something about. I don't understand this myself, but there's something about they could be hungry or whatever it is, but when their wife makes them a meal, it tastes totally different to whatever you could order or whatever they could order themselves.
It comes back to Mama Dukes. For those of us who's had good relationships with a mom or anyone who's raised us like a mom, it comes back from them. Nobody loves you like a good mother. There's a lot of mothers out there that are pieces of shit and don't love as they should. But we want to be somewhat loved and looked after as our mom did. We're not talking about her, what are you doing? Where you from? We're talking about, hey, I know you like this food. When I go home, my mom makes me the best food. When I go visit my mom, always my favorite foods. And that's what I want from my woman. When I come home, what foods am I getting? slippers are ready, house clean, dishes are done. And I'll help out too, but you know.
Or when their wife...
There's a love to it. There's a support behind it.
Being seen. It's being seen in a way that nobody else sees them. There's something about, like, you, of course you can make your own coffee in the morning, but there's something about your wife just putting it there without you asking for it that just makes you feel seen. Now, what I notice is when women forget to do that, they set the tone for a man to now go towards escorts.
Colombia. Let's go to Colombia.
Almost creating a transactional relationship. They're making him feel like an ATM anyway.
He's like, I'm not getting my needs met.
I'm paying for everything.
But I'm paying for everything. I know a few people like that. I'm not getting my needs met. I'm getting my thing. I'm getting some sex twice a week, but I'm fucking paying bills out the wazoo.
Pay for everything, and I'm being disrespected, maybe, or whatever.
I'm an ATM.
Interesting.
I'm already an ATM.
Whether that's okay or not to think that way, that's just the interpretation.
That's the way he sees it. So if I'm coming home and she doesn't even notice I'm there, she's never cooked a meal, she's never asked me how my day is, but I'm paying for everything and I'm giving her a great life, I'm already an ATM. I might as well be an ATM to somebody who's going to touch me and kiss me
serve
and
my
look at me.
sexual needs or something.
Exactly. Who's going to look at me?
At least pretend.
At least, even if
I act for an hour.
Exactly.
Right?
And the worst thing is,
that's facts, guys. That's 100%. I mean, this is why a lot of men. This is why the escort business is such a high game. This is why OnlyFans women be making $50,000, $100,000 a month, because there's these wives, these married individuals who wife already got the ring, got everything in life, and think that everything is good by just existing. But this is why I don't believe in marriage, and I will never get married legally. At least I won't involve the states, because for what? For what? She could take half my shit, be over me, not love me no more. It's no point. It's no point of that. So in order for me to save myself, save my money, save my empire that I'm trying to build, I will stay single in the marriage state. As in, of course, I'm going to have a few girlfriends. So I was scrolling again, and I have another video to show you guys. So let's get to it. So what's going on, my guys? Let's get into video 2 here. We're going to talk about why men cheat. Again, I haven't seen this video. It's the same girl, so... let's see what she has to say about men cheating.
When they say I love you and cheat, as much as that sounds like a paradox to us, unfortunately for them, what that meant is...
Now, you're a psychologist
Yes.
who really focuses on actually helping a lot of men.
Yes.
And where I want to start today, actually, is why is it that a man can say he loves you, he can actually seem really happy in that relationship?
What is that on her head? Who said that this was okay for her to come on this show looking like this? Let's get it together, white people.
He can actually seem really happy in that relationship and then turn around and cheat on you.
Weirdly, in my experience, it is true. It's a dichotomy that took me a really long time to understand, because for me, in order to love me, you have to respect me. And cheating involves an element of disrespect that, you know, I'm sure yourself as well, we don't really tolerate. But having worked with so many men over the years, what it is that they can love you.
I could love you. I love her. You guys know that I love her. I love her.
But have unmet needs. And with men, because communication isn't their forte, they don't like to communicate what these unmet needs are.
Yeah, that's facts. I don't like to communicate. I don't like to talk too much. I like to talk to you guys and on the YouTube, but with other people, unless you adding value to my life, to my mind, anything around me, I don't really fuck with it. I don't really like communication, especially with a girl, because communication just shows you're weak. Oh, baby, I need this, I need that, I love you, I miss. Bro, if you don't know what I need by now, and we're in a relationship, we don't belong together.
So they outsource them from another in another environment. So when they say I love you and cheat, as much as that sounds like a paradox to us, unfortunately for them, what that meant is I loved you. I didn't want to hurt you or upset you or tell you what was going on. So I just wanted to appease my own needs elsewhere at the expense of my relationship, which is not right.
It's right. What do you mean it's not right? If you don't meet my needs, well, what am I supposed to do? There's 7 billion people here. What do you mean it's not right, boo? Come on, let's get it together, my love.
Doesn't mean they didn't love their wife, which is really hard pill to swallow. But unfortunately, in their world, that's what it means.
So that's actually a really brilliant way of breaking it down. But then how, as women, when we're in a relationship, do we know that we...
Yo, that's a big ass watch. I ain't gonna lie, man. This girl's wardrobe is very I don't got the best wardrobe, but that shit is interesting.
Can actually trust them, because to your point, if you think that they're happy, if they're saying, oh my God, I love you, trust is a big freaking thing in that relationship. And so how do you start to communicate that? And how do you start to identify? Because I do think a guy has to take the responsibility as well, that if you're not happy, you need to speak up.
Absolutely.
And this speaking up happens prior to the relationship. You don't speak up during the relationship. You don't just let her do everything she wants to do in the tryout phase while you guys getting to know each other. No, you need to speak up. You need to set your boundaries during this stage early. She needs to know your likes and dislikes, your hates, your loves early prior to the relationship. Relationship is a big deal, man. By the time you guys get to a relationship, everything should have already been set in stone. Relationship should be the easiest thing. You guys should not be fighting about each other in relationships. It should be more about life.
But if they don't, how do you start to navigate that situation? How do you maybe even try to help prevent that situation? And how do you not take it as a personal thing? Or is it personal?
It's definitely not personal. In my experience of working with them, it's definitely not personal.
Working with them, damn, sound like she working with some dogs. I feel you though.
How you know if you can trust them or not? One of the good ways to understand is looking at their value system before they met you. Now, if they have a set of values where if they have unmet needs, the desire to feel desired or the desire to feel intimate with somebody exceeds their desire to remain in a monogamous relationship, then chances are at some stage they're going to risk the relationship.
Monogamy is tough, especially for a high-valued man. It takes such a long time to build your value, man. And I understand broke, ugly men cheat, but they cheating with ugly bitches. You know, when you're a high value, when you get in those 8s and 9s and 10s, you know, and they tossing it at you. How can you not? Man is as faithful as his options.
So you really have to look at their values as a person. Now, if they're the type of person that if they want something, they'll get it and they don't mind risking it all, then in the course of a relationship, they can stray. But if they're the type of person who, as much as they might want something, they recognize that the risk is not worth the cost and they're quite risk averse in general, and they genuinely value their wife's well-being, that person will find it difficult.
So we're just going to be talking about white men cheat, you know, wife and husbands. Hey, man, if you're a man, woman is very different if you're a woman. Everybody knows this, and you're cheating. If you're a man and you're cheating, it's not that deep. It's just like, yo, my options. Now, if you're a married man and you're actively looking to cheat, you're on dating sites and you're chasing women, you're going to bars and you're not taking care of your kids, then yeah, you're a piece of shit and you got to deal with that. But if you're a married man and you have been fortunate enough to build your value, to build that goodness all your life up, build your money, you're handsome, you stay in shape, you stay fit, you're healthy mentally and physically, and women are throwing it at you, how can you stay faithful? I feel like it's tough, especially if you travel.
Wife hasn't slept with him in a long time, hasn't made him feel special. If he cares about her well-being, he doesn't put his needs first. And so that guy is less likely to cheat. Now, as a woman, how you can navigate that is sometimes some women, especially after children, they forget that the man still has needs. They forget that as tired as she is and exhausted as she is, and so preoccupied, and this is no flaw of hers, it's just what happens when you become a mum.
And that's true. I understand this.
She naturally can forget that he needs a bit of attention, he needs a bit of love, he needs a bit of affection. And in her attempt to become a mother, and a fantastic mother, she can often neglect her duties as a wife.
Woo! That was deep right there. And to my ladies, I definitely feel that, yo. Like I said, I was raised by a single mother. I have 2 older sisters. I have nieces and nephews. And I have aunts. I was raised by my whole family of women. Though I don't have a wife, I've never been a husband. I can see how tired my sisters are, my mom was growing up, raising, even when I was, and especially as I got older, as a teenager, I was a wild kid. So her energy was always taken up. It was used. So I can't even imagine how trying to be a wife and raising 3 kids. It's tough, and shout out all you single mothers. Shout out all you mothers, period, out there, and wives trying to make it out, building a better life for your kids and your husbands. But you got to do it.
So what happens is he doesn't want to say, oh, by the way, can you stop looking after the kids and come back to me? So he might outsource it. How I recommend you navigate that is just and it's so difficult for women, but if you can make quality time to ask more open-ended questions to your partner, it makes a world of a difference.
After I come home from work? What do you mean? Asking me questions, open-ended questions?
Other than just, what time are you coming? Can you pick up the kids? Can you do this? It's like, how are you feeling? Is everything okay? What's stressing you out? You haven't been yourself. You stay attuned to your partner, they're less likely to stray. Doesn't mean they won't 100%, and doesn't mean you're responsible, but they're less likely to stray.
That's fact. I like a back rub. I like a girl now asking me if I've ate, how my day was. It shows genuine love. And again, that won't stop us, a high valued man who gets a lot of options in his life from cheating, but it gives us a sense of being. And again, like she said earlier, it doesn't mean that we don't love you guys. If anything, cheating makes us love you even more, because now we know that, man, there's a whole bunch of pieces of shit out here, but I'm coming home to some nice, beautiful, tender meat and my wife.
So it isn't personal, but what it is a reflection of is the communication has broken down in some way, shape, or form. And is finding a time to reconnect will prevent that from getting to an affair.
I love your honesty. I know what people are thinking at home right now. In the comments, they're saying, why is it my responsibility? The guy should own it. And I actually want to be the voice of saying, you can't control them. No. You can't control if they're communicating, right? Like, people at home right now, please hear me. This isn't to blame women, but you can't control how the guy shows up.
That's true. I mean, you can't control anybody with anything. A guy's going to do what a guy's going to do. A girl's going to do what a girl's going to do. You could try your best to assist, but you can't control anybody.
Can't force him to communicate. So I just say, in that situation, what is it that I can do? And choose to do or not do, right? Yeah. I think that what you're doing right now, it's going to be very tricky to navigate, but I think it's super important. What you're doing is you're saying, this is the way the situation is. This is how men feel, whether you like it or not. Yeah. Now, as women, at least if I have the choice to say, I'm going to ask my partner if there's any needs, or I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted. One of the married woman's favorite words.
No, I'm not going to ask him. Cool. Don't ask him. But just know the reality of what the potential outcome is going to be. So now setting kind of that stage, but just know the reality of what the potential outcome is going to be. So now setting kind of that stage. One goes back to something you just said about the value system. Yeah. So how do you start to identify that value system in them?
Have to develop the value before you even get into a relationship. Or like I said, you never chase women. But even before you start actively pursuing women, you have to start building your value in the meantime as well. I do believe that even if you're broke, ugly, and in the future you want to be good with women, you do have to practice at it. That's why I say always get your dating apps, but you have to start developing your value, man.
I've heard you say that you can also ask them questions about their childhood that reveal how they are today. Yeah. So take me through what sort of things that we can ask our partners if we're dating or if we're starting or we're already in a relationship with someone to start identifying what those values are.
Okay. So great question, by the way. But what I would recommend is how you identify a man's values is you assess their kind of opinions on things that are not related to them. What I mean by this is one of the great things about our jobs is that we can kind of say, oh, someone said this today. What do you think about that? And so you might want to say something like, I read this article about men feeling neglected after a baby's born. What do you think about that? Or a colleague at work said that he feels like his wife doesn't want to have sex with him anymore. What do you feel about that? Or one common thing that a lot of people don't talk about is how men sometimes lose sexual desire for their wife after marriage, after living together. They might have been really rampant before.
Ooh, she just hit some topics there, my boy. Oh, they ain't gonna like that. Repeat that.
Or one common thing that a lot of people don't talk about is how men sometimes lose sexual desire for their wife after marriage, after living together. They might have been really rampant before, but they kind of lose their desire and they're not chasing their wife for sex the way they used to.
And sometimes it's not even our fault, man. Sometimes our wives just let themselves go. I understand kids come into it and you're not the same shape you were in high school, but I'm not asking for that. As long as you're trying to stay in shape and look good, nobody wants, I'm sorry to say this, but nobody wants a fat wife. Even fat men, they don't want fat wives. Nobody want them. So, and this is where our unattractiveness comes from. Again, I've never been married, but I've spoken to a lot of married men. A lot of people say she let herself go. And what do married men usually cheat on their wives with? A better in-shaped woman. You're never gonna see a man with a fat wife cheat on that woman with another fat wife. That's just a man with no standards and no value.
And it's these kind of conversations, how you identify his values is his ability to be honest. Now, if you're with somebody who will tell you the truth, even if it hurts you, you're in luck. And as much as that might sound difficult, it actually creates emotional attunement. He's teaching you how to love him, and you do the same with him. But if you have a partner who is unable to express himself, what will happen is he'll find an outlet to express himself. Hopefully that will be a healthy outlet, but sometimes it can be an unhealthy outlet. So how you assess his value system is you assess how honest he is, even if does he stick to the truth, even if it offends some people.
That's true. That's true, man. As men, you got to stick to your guns. You got to be honest. You got to start thinking about God and, being judged. And one, I'm not a religious man, but I do believe in a higher power. You have to start telling the truth. Us men out here are liars. You're lying to yourselves. Stop lying to yourselves. Stop lying to other people, unless, it's something easy to a woman.
And then asking someone the questions to see how they're going to respond.
Yeah.
And then I've heard you say that it's actually more likely that when a guy becomes a father, that they're more likely to cheat. Is that why? Because they do they feel the guilt?
Ooh, I like this. We're about to get to the nitty gritty. When a guy becomes a father, he's more likely to cheat. Yeah, I can see that.
Putting it on the mother.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, if I just go take my needs over here, now I don't have to make her feel bad that she's not giving it up.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, what happens is they recognize it is a selfish desire to expect her to be breastfeeding, looking after the baby, just push the baby out and then go and look after him. They know there's a part of them that can't always expect it, but they want it. They miss the woman they had pre-kids, because women do change after children.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault. We doing it for you. It's for you, girl. I'm cheating just so you could be a better mother. It ain't me. Come on.
And they become exhausted, because children are exhausting. They become preoccupied with the child. They find it difficult to just kind of forget the child and let's go for dinner and just think about dinner. Whereas for a man, they can go and play football, leave the baby, and they can think about football. What they're doing is what they're thinking about.
It's facts. Us men, we got to preoccupy ourselves with stuff. And stop using the word football. Ain't nobody going to leave their kids to go play football, a newborn to go play football. But now, if I have meetings, if I still have bills to pay, if I still have to pay for these car notes, the light bill, the water bill, my kids aren't going to pay that. That's why you as a mom, stay home, do your thing. That's why as men, we don't want women with big ass career goals and big ass careers. We can care less about that. We want a woman who's going to be home and is going to be happy being a mother, so that I as a man can be out in the world doing what a man does, getting shit done and making sure our family's safe.
So they miss that one-to-one connection with their wife so much. They really miss it, but they don't know how to say it. And because they don't know how to say it, but they do know how to outsource it, they'll look for somewhere else.
Pretty sure some men say it, when they cut it up at night, like, yo, and then the one be so tired.
And a lot of the time after children is when men turn to pornography more, or they'll turn to escorts, or they'll turn to webcam women more, because them
OnlyFans is getting paid off for pops. Now I know where these OnlyFans money is coming from.
They actually don't want to put in the effort of falling in love with another woman, but they do want to feel intimacy again. They're looking for either a sense of vulnerability or emotional connection with somebody else, especially with these webcam girls. They talk to you and so on and so forth. So I'd want to know, what is the emotion and feeling he's seeking from pornography that he isn't being able to get from us?
That's facts. I mean, when I used to watch porn, again, to all my guys watching this, please stop watching porn. If you're addicted, or you can't slow down, or you can't stop, just take it day by day. Start slow, man. Go with one day, or if you're doing it multiple times a day, decrease that and keep going at it, because it's a detriment to you, it's a detriment to your health, it's a detriment to your mental health, and it's going to be a detriment to your sex life, all right? Please, your sex life is going to get a lot better if you stop jerking off, stop watching pornography, man.
And I would consider it a bit of pornography because it has a trickle-down effect on the relationship. They either find it more difficult to get aroused by their partner, or they're less physically attracted.
Yep, I told you, yeah. You lose sensitivity.
It has a trickle-down effect on the relationship. They either find it more difficult to get aroused by their partner, or they're less physically attracted.
Not only is it more difficult for you to get hard and you to be a good sex partner to now you're not attracted to your wife as much, because you're seeing these BBLs, you're seeing these beautiful ass women, these porn sites. that you're not getting from your wife, and they're all lies.
So because it has an impact on my connection with him, I would consider it a bit of cheating. Would you consider it?
No, so Tom and I have very open communication, and so we talk about porn all the time. And
cheating is porn. I can see that, man. I can see why women will feel like cheating is porn, because you are looking at another woman that's not her, basically imagining her. If you're horny and your wife is there, you should be having sex with your wife, not going to the bathroom jerking off.
And sometimes, like, we have a rule: don't ever get offended if he asks for sex, but don't ever get offended if I say no.
Right.
And so because we've got that rule, if I say no, I still want my husband to have sexual. So I'm just like, go watch porn, babe. But like, I'm too tired.
What? You see, this is how women get. I'm too tired, bro. Like, we're not asking you to have sex, but if you see as a man, as your husband, that he's horny, right? He's in that mood. Yo, you gotta do something. It takes it takes 10 minutes of some stroking, some sucky. You don't have to just split open and start twerking, doing splits and breaking the walls. Nah, just do something that's gonna help out the situation, relieve the stress for a nigga.
Right, and so because we have that communication, now I think it'd be very different if he didn't approach me, he didn't ask me for sex, and I walked in and he was sneaking it.
Well, the reason I'm sneaking it is because I have to ask. First of all, a man should not be asking for sex from his wife, from his relationship. A woman knows that a man, if he didn't get his dick sucked or haven't had sex throughout the day, he wants it. Every day, a man should be getting released, especially if he's his wife, especially if he's paying all the bills, especially if he's paying the car note, especially if he's paying for your fucking hair and nails. Every day. Do you ask the dog, does he have to go take a walk and take a shit? No. You know it has to be done. So why, as a married man, should I be asked if I want sex, if I want to get released? It should not be a question. Now, if you come to me and I'll be like, nah, that's cool. Yo, I'm gonna love that even more because you're trying. But there's no way I should be asking my wife, for anything. It should be given to me willfully and enjoyably.
I think that's more about the trust, going back to that trust thing that we started with. I think that's where it comes from, is that, hang on, you didn't trust me enough.
Women with hairstyles like this makes you think you gotta ask. Shouldn't be asking. I'm not saying take it, but if she's not willingly giving it to you with a smile on her face, something wrong, bro.
To even talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And now what's happened in our relationship where you don't feel like you can communicate that with me.
Yeah, these women think that everything has gotta be communicated. No, everything does not have to be communicated in a relationship. You should know. Yeah, everything does not have to be communicated in a relationship. You should know what the fuck it is. You should know that I'm a man. You should know that I need sex. I need some head. I need something. Because if I come home from a stressful last day all happy and I'm telling you no every day, you're going to be suspecting something. Same thing as you. You can't be out here just telling me no, I don't want to do this. I don't want. Nah, man. You should be doing it with a smile on your face. And I blame you, man, for not setting these boundaries earlier in the relationship. You guys have to set these boundaries and make sure your woman knows what you like, how you like it, when you like it. And if she doesn't like it, she can walk her ass out the door because you got more. Remember, guys, there's plenty of fish in that water. If you don't think she's replaceable, you are the one that's replaceable. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I don't care if it's one or two of you guys watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe the channel so that this content can maybe get out to some cool people and get this growing. See you in the next time, guys.